Hello, my name is Yumi, and this is our first interview of the project We Here. I hope you guys support us by following on Instagram and subscribing our YouTube channel. And we also appreciate if you share your thoughts in comment section. If you want to be a part of this project, you are always welcome. All information below this video in the description section. Thank you. Thinking about this project, I will be honest, you were the core
Oh my goodness.
of all of this.
Thank you, sweetheart. You are always so wonderful and such a great energy to be around and see and bump into, and and seeing your art through Instagram. It's always been inspiring, and we love having you here. So thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Let's start from the beginning because I know you, but not 100%, right?
Of course.
And could you please introduce yourselves and tell us a bit more about who you are?
He had an amazing family story written up about us. So, with
Okay.
right?
You want me to start?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I can
it's
start.
such a beautiful story because he's such a writer and an artist in that way through his writing. So he wrote a beautiful story about our family, like how we grew up and how we met and came to Korea and our children. So
I'll give the short version.
yeah, the short version.
The short version here. I was born in very rural Wyoming, and in fact, I was born on a ranch in the mountains. And simultaneously, about a year later, I'm about a year older than Sunya. She was born in Botswana, in rural Botswana, in her grandfather's hospital.
Yeah.
And the reason they were there was because her grandfather was a dispatch office doctor for the UN, Korean, to Africa. And somehow weaving this tale together of us finding each other randomly through Facebook in about 2007.
Yeah.
I was raised in this kind of hunting family, and we shared wild Christmases with our Korean friends in our neighborhood. We would give them deer steak, and they would give us kimchi. And
Right.
that was my kind of first taste of Korea. And they had a Korean restaurant, and I could see hanbok photos on the wall and these really old photos of Seoul City. And so I always kind of had this idea I wanted to visit. And meanwhile, in Africa, Sunya was growing up riding goats and
Yeah, fishing every Sunday.
maybe we need some photos. We
I
need some
know,
baby
fishing
photos.
every Sunday, and it was just so great until we moved to Johannesburg when I was 9 years old. So then it was a bigger city. It was a whole different time in Africa because of apartheid and all the good and bad and black and white and where do Asians fit in, and so it was pretty crazy growing up there. Yeah. And then my dad was like, you need to go back to your roots, try Korea.
No, we're skipping too much.
Are we?
We're skipping
Why?
too much here.
Yeah.
Because
What did I miss?
what did you miss? Like this massive chunk.
Which is?
So I will tell this portion of the story because she talks about how different it was in Africa, and yet I feel like you carved the path there for yourself.
In Africa?
Yeah, so she made it very easy for her brothers, younger brothers,
Yeah.
for Q and Song to grow up because you battled adversity, you battled challenge of your identity as an Asian, because everybody think that Asians are Chinese, similar to where I grew up.
Yeah. A lot of racism,
you know,
and hatred,
some
and
things exist
go back to your country, and
and stuff.
yeah.
And but after that, I mean, so Sunya's always been very fashion and artistic and fashionable, and she was doing these amazing designs at like Miss 60 with diesel jeans, and so she would sell the jeans, but then the people would be like, "But where are the pants that you're wearing?" And she was making these custom pants in South Africa, and people were like, "Oh, can you do that to mine?" And she's like, "Yes, give me your pants." So she started like that. She also
Was
went to
hustling from a young age.
she had a good business mind, and she went to study fashion in Paris.
Yeah.
So you can't just jump to Korea. So she studied fashion at Esmod in Paris, and she had her school drawings, designs that she was making. They got picked up by Kenzo. She designed for Kenzo. They were being sold in the main flagship in Paris, at the Kenzo flagship. And then you decided, okay, I'll move back to South Africa. And then your dad said, hey, get in touch with being Korean and go to Korea.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll be the family
I
historian.
love my life and my story and how I grew up. I feel so blessed being born in Africa and being born with all these, like, not traumas, but like trials, things that I had to go through very quickly at such a young age so that my brothers didn't have to go through what I went through. And I guess we're trying to teach that to our children now. So it's an interesting, obviously it's not as dangerous here, or you're not worried about any of that. For most of the learning is to survive in Africa. Don't get raped, don't get kidnapped, don't get killed, every night, every day. So for me, growing up and then coming here and being so safe and feeling like, wow, this feels strange. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to, hide, or I can walk on the street is being lovely for our children to not have to grow up the way I did even, so we feel
You
blessed.
say that, and I'm like looking at the
I know,
taxi,
yes.
like our kids are coming
We are-
safely.
We
we're
are
always
still very protective over them. We like to know where they are at all times, but because that just doesn't get out of us, I think people that grow up in Korea, they just like let their children go out on the weekends, like a group of friends. Annika's always like, can I go with your friends? I'm like, who's going with them? They're just their friends. I'm like, to where? They're like, walk from Chungmuro to Dongdaemun to Hyundai City, look around there and come back. I'm like, you are not walking anywhere by yourself are there any parents coming? No. I'm like, no, I'm not letting you do that. I'm sorry. Out of the whole bunch, you're the one that's going to get kidnapped, girl. So you're staying right by us. So there's a lot of freedoms. Like we are still, sure. I just feel like, no, we can't do that here still. Just because of the way we grew up,
And I call our kids all the time.
Yeah.
They have one phone, they're running
Yeah.
around, they're at school, I'm
Yeah.
sending a message.
Yeah.
So we definitely have started to like kind of merge this concept.
And then we met on Facebook and we met here, so that was random.
She messaged me
I
first.
did. I was in Korea, so I was messaging a whole bunch of teachers, and then
I was teaching here. I was waiting to get a job. I applied for a job at Hannam University in Daejeon, and I'd lived there for a year. I did 1 year of teaching there, and I thought, okay, it's actually quite cool. I was going to come here for 1 year. My plan was 1 year, and then I was going to move to South America. And I had a Spanish background, so I decided I would try 1 more year in Korea, and I got the job. I was in the States when she messaged. And she was like, hey, my boyfriend's coming out to Korea. Like, what should I look out for? What should I do?
for jobs for my boyfriend.
And I was like, oh, yeah, actually, I'm going through some crazy stuff with some immigration things and some watch out stuffs and like whatever. So let me suggest this, and this. And she was like, you know what? Like a month later, she goes, thank you so much. You actually really sent me genuine things that could help. I appreciate that. We're not together anymore. I was like, oh, that's too bad. And I was going through a bit of a breakup as well.
Yeah.
And I moved back here. And we kind of talked on the phone a few times.
About
we
3
talked.
months.
Yeah, it was a
We
while.
spoke on the phone for 3 months before I decided, okay, I think he's safe to meet. Because that back then you meet on the internet, it's scary, you know, you don't like, and then coming from South Africa, like, it's just too scary to just randomly go meet a stranger, you know, even though you speak on the phone. So I brought my 2 brothers on our first date. Yeah, and they're huge rugby players. So they're my baby brothers, but they're like bigger than me. They're like massive. So they came as my bodyguards.
Which I was totally okay with.
Yes.
I was like, no, I like this girl. She's smart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, we met on the internet, so please, like, bring your
Yeah.
brothers.
And he was cool with that. So I was like, okay, well, let me go meet him because he's okay that I brought my brothers with, you know.
And about, let's see, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, so like 4 or 5 years later, we went on honeymoon with her brother. We had a joint wedding. We all got married together.
We did get married together. We had a joint wedding. We went on honeymoon together. We all got sick together.
So true. So true. So we moved to the States after we got married.
Yeah.
And we just realized, like, it was great. We have a lot of friends that are there, but it's just such a different place. And it's different in the same way that when I'm there, people ask me where I'm from. And I will say, no, I was born here. I'm from here. And they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, that's really interesting. I mean, I look in the mirror like, I didn't change. I don't know what's going on. But then we go to the bank, and she was going to open this bank account in America. And she goes, hi, I'd like to open a bank account. And the lady looked at me like she couldn't understand English.
His country is really country. Like, there's more animals than people. There's not any Asian people, basically.
That is not true. I grew up with Koreans.
Yeah, but like they were just, I don't know. They have an accent as well, like an accent. But it was she just didn't understand my English accent.
So she saw her face, but couldn't understand her language. And I thought, how many times that's happened to me here, where if I talk to somebody on the phone, there's no issue. They feel like they can understand me.
Right.
But when they see my face and hear me talk,
like,
they can't understand what I'm
Korean.
saying. And so that was this strange situation where Sunya was like, and then she looked at me and I'm like, she'd like to open a bank account. And the lady's like, oh, okay, I totally understand. And I'm like, oh, people, they're all the same everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really interesting. And we lived there for 2 years. We had a good time. We lived with my family. We studied art.
We went there mainly to get to know your family and get to be close to your family.
Exactly.
Stuff,
I've been here for 2 years. I've been away from home.
Right.
So we moved back.
Exactly.
And then we said, I don't think we can live in America.
No, not in Sheridan, especially.
Definitely not there. You wanted to go to New York. Compiled, it's been like I mean,
so
minus 2, we're like 18, 19 years, minus 2, so like 16, 17 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
About that, 16.
Off and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like since COVID, I think, like, because before that we were always traveling back and forth somewhere. Like every 2 years we had to leave somewhere to live somewhere else for a couple of years and come back. But since COVID, it's just really put us here that we've imprinted.
I haven't left the country since 2019.
Exactly. So
I
it's
haven't even
been
left
like,
Korea.
it's been so crazy to think about it like that. So.
I mean, plus we've had challenges regarding, you know, I think the challenges are our own. Like we take on our projects, and then we end up doing these projects for a long time. We did as we met. I think around that time we had a cafe and culture space, and we had live events. We had a rooftop. We had 3 floors. We had
DJ parties.
We had good fucking coffee, is what we call it. GFK. We had some good fucking coffee.
It was fun.
And we would do exhibitions for young artists or unknown artists, totally free exhibitions, which was unheard of in Seoul.
Yeah,
Most of the time,
we did curate a lot of events
A
in
lot,
that space
a
with a
lot.
lot of people and met a lot of people, and so that was, yeah.
and so like even some of the things that we're doing here at Ita are like milk tart and cheesecake and
Grandma's recipes, and
some new
mom's
yeah,
recipes, and
mom's recipes.
great grandmother's recipes. Like
Right,
really,
right.
we've had like so many recipes that mom sent us. So.
I think in our families, what we've kind of learned from everywhere is just like enjoyment. You know, we enjoy our food, we enjoy our company. The people around us are very important to how that shape your energy, your identity, your personality, your philosophy. As you feel good about yourself, as you want other people to feel good about themselves. If you feel not good about yourself, it seems like people make other people feel bad about themselves. So it's something we try to teach our kids, but a lot of it comes down to a simple foundation of how do you spend your time? What do you put in your body? What do you put in your brain, in your ears? What do you breathe? What do you see? What do you taste?
Yeah.
And I think in all aspects of what we've created, we try to find a way to put good material next to our skin.
Yeah.
Not expensive material, good material. Linen, cotton, wool, silk, the things that are good for our vibration. But the same go for food, the same go for people, the same go for music, the same go for the smell. You say when you walk in, the smell. Yeah, we have to walk in and smell something so nice.
Yeah.
You smelled lovely, by the way, both of you. I
Yeah.
can smell you bring a nice scent to yourself, you know. And yeah, these are the entrances, the portals into our universe, our internal universe.
Yeah.
So it's very important what we put in there, what we consume, and especially the eyes, and especially the ears. There's no better, and especially the skin. I think there's no one part that's more important.
Yeah.
What's the challenge for you?
Just like the lack of communication, I think on my part to not know 100% Korean has been like my biggest challenge.
We're really good producers.
Yeah.
We can make anything.
And we can, but in our native language, in English, is like perfect. We can just communicate and explain and express ourselves 100%. But then, in Korean, I feel like there's a boundary or there's a distance between, you know. So that's been tough. Just knowing. I mean, I'm glad Annika and Neptune speak perfect Korean, so. That's
They even help us a lot.
Yeah, they do. They help a lot with like the Korean in reading and writing. So speaking, it's okay. We can speak a little bit, but it's not 100% either.
One of your complaints was like she looks like the local, so the expectation is local expectations.
Yeah.
But when they recognize she's not, there's like this they don't know how to place her. It's the same thing I was feeling back home. It's like, nah, you're not from here. And then when that happens, there's like
as soon as you feel like they
something.
can't put you in a box or label you some way or kind of know or figure out who you are, they get very defensive or they get very
uncomfortable because they don't know.
just
Yeah.
by me. So. No, not at all. I don't feel at home here at all. Like I'm home in terms of I have my family here, and wherever my family is my home. So it doesn't matter where, regardless of where I am physically. But thank you, babe. But I feel like where home in terms of where I was born and my roots and like my grounding is definitely Africa. So, but here my home is here because my family is here, and that's the most important thing. So yeah, but I definitely don't feel at home here. There's still so many people that stare at me every day, that wonder like, wow, yep, that's what she looks like. That's what she chose. to look like when she leaves the house. They're just like in shock. They're completely in shock. They even turn back to look at me, or they like tell their friends, point every day. It's very interesting. I'm like, which is crazy in 2025, where you go to Mapo or you go to Itaewon and you have people that look even more crazier than I do, and nobody even talks to them or looks at them or points to them, So I just don't. They're even more tattooed than I am. Their hair is wilder than I am, but nobody even looks at them. But the minute they're just like, look at her. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's funny. I just laugh now, so. When I was super young, when I was younger, so this is like me learning who I am and loving who I am at such a young age, that you can do that, and I'm not going to give a flying. You can point at me, laugh. I'll probably laugh with you now. If you think I'm funny, good. I made you laugh, good. Like, I will laugh with you, Don't be malicious or mean in any regard, because I will fight back and defend myself. Obviously, I'm not just going to be stupid and be like, take that, either. So, yeah, now I'm just like, I really am not bothered by it at all, at all. My kids might be bothered. Like, Mommy, they're staring at you. Good. Look. Do it. Ask them if they want a photo of Mommy. They're like, no, Mommy. So I just joke with them about it, and I don't take things seriously. Yeah. When I was younger, I battled for that. I fought. I was in detention because I was punching everybody in the face if they said one thing I didn't like. So I've come a long way.
I mean, within context, you weren't fighting for no reason.
No, I was standing up for myself. I'm like, no, if don't call me Chinese, because I'm not. Like, if you call me you Korean, what am I going to say? Yeah, dude, I'm Korean. But if you call me Chinese, or you think, or you say something, I'm going to stand up and be like, no, dude, I'm not Korean. I'm not Chinese, Let me teach you about who I actually am, if you want to find out. But if not, you're going to get punched in the face. That's it. So,
because I've never seen you be a bully, ever.
No.
Ever. But
no.
you stand
I beat
up
a lot of bullies.
There you go.
I fought for a lot of people in my school. I did.
Yeah, you stand up for people.
Yep,
and you stand up always for what's right.
Yes, I do.
And never ever push yourself into a place where you would be in the wrong, or ever even have to say sorry.
Yeah, I hate that. I really, the word sorry, I don't know if it also like.
It's not the word, it's the position, it's the place. You give away your power, you give away your strength.
Yeah, so I always tell my kids, we always tell the kids, like, don't ever put yourself in a position that you have to be sorry or say sorry or feel sorry, Don't ever put yourself in that position, because it's not very nice,
I mean, I like the question, but the answer is unique, I guess, in the sense that when I go home, I don't feel home. And when I'm here, I don't feel 100% home either. The only place the reason I got married, in fact, and is because I found somebody that I felt finally I was home. And I never wanted to get married. I didn't think I wanted kids. I was coming here for a year.
When we were dating, I never want to get married, and I don't want to ever have kids. Oh, bye. Because I'm actually looking for a husband, because I want children.
But communication is very important. And so when you set a guideline or a boundary, whether it was with a partner or with a person, their response is everything. And she responded to me the first out of anybody I'd ever communicated with, because I dated a lot before I came to Korea, and a little while I was here before we met, and I never felt like I was home. So even though I was feeling that feeling, I still had in my mind, like, no, I don't want marriage, I don't want children, I think this is... And she said things that nobody else has said. She didn't expect she's going to change me. She said, I don't care how I feel. I don't need you in my life. If that's what you want, you go do what you want. I'm go looking for what I want. And I said, whoa, okay. I mean, I have this feeling. would I be willing to change? Am I willing to have another idea? And if in order to feel home, then yeah, what is that? And then to explore. So for somebody who began with this kind of idea, Korea presented all these new challenges for me, to finding a partner who I felt in this place where, I mean, we were nothing alike, but so similar. We grew up in such a very different place, but in such
So
a very
similar,
similar kind of atmosphere.
It was very strange,
Yeah.
the similarities we had. Right?
My white father is the most Korean father when I grew up that I can absolutely imagine. He's very strict about certain things and like taught me in a certain way, and I feel like, yeah, I fit into Korea easily because of my upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Do I find Korea home? I don't know. I mean, I think I can be home wherever I go, as long as I have my family. Constantly.
Yeah, all the time. My dream place, destination is Thailand. I just want to be in Thailand and back and forth to Korea. So we are looking to hopefully move like within 2 years, realistically, or find a line or find something that
We'll
can
always
do.
have a leg here, though.
We will, because my family is here. So if we can do something that kind of links us to Thailand and we can be back and forth, I love that. So yeah.
We created a couple of different things in the meantime. One was a bottle company, a water bottle company. And because we have kids and they broke every water bottle we could ever buy, we created an indestructible water bottle. I meant to bring one today and I totally spaced it. But it's called the Belly Pop, and it's a platinum silicone.
I remember this project.
Right. And it turned really well. We made a really great product, and we eventually got it into Lotte department store in one of the luxury boutique shops. But it kind of really highlighted our limitations, which was marketing and certain things. We ran into some difficulties, some challenges. When you're not from here, and even if you are, I think Korea is a very challenging place to navigate, because the exchange,
the business part,
the business exchange is ruthless. It's very cutthroat. It's very straightforward. And people have no problem taking from other people or minimizing. So we learned a lot of hard lessons. We ended up kind of closing the water bottle company in the meantime, and simultaneously as trying to get that going, we developed a shirt, and the first thing is to say, I do not belong here. Day one.
But meaning the world, not just here.
It's
where
not
you
about
are,
Korea.
It's not about Korea. It's just like.
But this is outside. And
just
so
being outside.
But outside with two S's, because it's here and there at the same time.
Yeah. And it was just a concept that we wanted to highlight in terms of we really do live outside of what people's expectations are. And we always want to stand firmly on that, because why should we ever live to anybody else's expectations but our own? So that being so inside that we're outside, and so we don't belong here. Day one. So it's just a little project, a fun project we did with T-shirts and
we have a couple of shirts for you guys, by the way.
Yes, we did. Did you bring them?
Can you hand me?
Oh,
can you hand me
good. Yes, we do have some T-shirts
Can you hand
for
me
you.
those four? There's four there.
And it's just this, and our website is notinside.com.
I mean, about 3 years ago, I started having some health challenges. I started suddenly becoming allergic to things. And I woke up on a Sunday morning with a swollen head, like my scalp was bright red. It looked like I had a helmet on, and I had a headache like I've never had in my life.
This is so crazy.
And I said, I think I need to go to the emergency
I thought he
room.
was dying. I'm like, oh my God, this is so intense. What's going on?
I never go to the doctor. I feel like there's pretty much, unless I've broken a bone,
Yeah. Or
uh,
need stitches.
need stitches,
Yeah.
like, or, you know, need something severe. I rarely go to the doctor. And this was one of those moments where, and I went, and they didn't know exactly what it was. And come to find out through the process, I had developed some kind of an intestinal issue, poor diet, too much stress, smoking, drinking, who knows, like
No
a
sleep,
combination,
yeah.
not sleeping. And so for the past 3 years, I stopped smoking, stopped drinking, stopped eating sugar, stopped eating processed foods of any
Everything.
kind.
No processed sugar.
And I kind of went back to my childhood because I grew up very organic food. Now I know why my parents were strict, you know, like I started having all of these, all these things, eating well. And so it kind of developed into like, okay, well, here's a challenge. I was cooking all the time at home now. Like Korea's so easy to eat out, and you can find good cuisine from all over the world. And we started just cooking at home. And what can we eat? What can we do? And she's been amazing through the whole process because I at one point had an entire rash all over my entire body, and it was smelly. It was open sores. I mean, I felt like I was dying, literally.
Yeah, it was just so
And
scary.
found all of the foods that were affecting me and realized now I've come back really, really far. I stopped drinking coffee for quite a long time, which is my biggest thing that I love. One hot latte a day.
Yeah, but you still do that.
I'm back to it.
Yeah.
I'm back to it. So I've started to reintroduce foods, and I've started to find things that I could eat and not have to just make myself. And now we know where we can eat, and basically the only things I can't eat now are sugar and flour. Not too much alcohol. A little bit is okay, and smoking is just out. And I was never much of a smoker anyway, but having gone through that kind of a challenge, it felt like she had this concept of eat the bouquet. And so we created the bouquet, the edible bouquets, and we say, well, let's start this thing. And we didn't know what we were doing. We'd never done this before.
Still what we're doing, but we're doing our best. We really don't like. I don't know. It feels just whatever we do. I feel like whatever we're doing is creative in some aspect. Just our materials, our mediums change in the way we express ourselves, you know. So right now it's flour, butter, and eggs, like I was saying, and sugar, and we're just doing what we do, but we're trying to just express ourselves creatively, whichever, in terms of taking the photographs to trying to make little videos to actually making the product to following grandma's recipes and putting everything together in the way that she would, in memory of, with love, like that, to the people that we want to share the product with. So I think that's been fun either way and crazy and challenging, but that's the message in what we do, the end message, I guess, you know. Like whatever we are doing, whether it's running coffees, doing interior, doing something, we always put whatever thread that we've remembered that have, you know, brought us to this point in our lives of who we are in this life because of everything that's happened before. And I guess we just want to project that as best as we can to whoever is going to see that. Right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, we are multi-dimensional beings, humans.
Right.
We have capacity for so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're learning a lot. I mean, even navigating this within the Korean space. When we have clients who come in, some clients like that there's a Waegugin in here. Some people don't. Everybody's a little bit different, but we don't try to cater to people. We cater actually to ourselves.
Yeah.
We produce flavors we want to eat.
Yeah.
We set the hours we want to work.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that presents its own challenges. but
Right.
we're living our life. We're not living somebody else's. Yeah, when I first came here, I felt like I tried to fit in. I tried to, be accepted. I did this probably in my youth too much as well. But which you never did, which was, this has been a great thing of us coming together. I worked for her uncle for 5 years, and in that studio, the whole pressure for me was be Korean, be Korean, be Korean. And when I got to the point where I could understand everything they said in Korean, I could communicate well in Korean, I could do the things, everything was, then it was like, you'll never be Korean.
Just so sad.
I was so
He
crushed.
did so good.
I
Like,
wasted so much time trying to be
Yeah.
what somebody else thought I should be, as opposed to being myself. I went against myself. So I learned too much in that to ever decide I'm going to try to be anything for anybody else other than a good father to my kids, other than a
Yeah.
good husband to my wife.
Yeah, because honestly,
That's
you
it.
can't do
Good
that.
friend to my
Yeah.
friends, and
I cannot do that.
Right?
I was born this way. Bad attitude.
some people
Cheeky.
might
It's
say
just-
that.
Yeah.
But
Some
you're
people, yeah,
so
so-
true
I
to who
am,
you are.
I am. If you can take it as a bad attitude or cheeky or,
But we need that, and we spoke about this a little bit earlier, about making somebody else uncomfortable by
Yeah.
your presence. We don't make them uncomfortable, actually. We just exist as we are, and if
Yeah.
they're uncomfortable, that's because they're probably not living way incongruent with their self. So we try to impress on our children. Be yourself so 1,000% that nothing change or shift you other than what your
Yeah.
heart guides.
Yeah, exactly.
But she kind of taught me most of that. My parents always allowed me freedom to be who I am, but there's those cultural parameters of control
Yeah.
guide you to be something so everybody else can feel comfortable. On the surface, very.
Yeah.
I think it's super open for tourists. I think it's super open for
Such a
people who live
sensitive
here.
question, though, because I am Korean, but I don't feel Korean. But I also connect with Koreans because I am Korean. But then it's like that disconnect as soon as they can hear my accent that I'm not Korean. I'm already put in a different, they already make me not Korean as soon as they can hear my accent when I speak in Korean. So they're like immediately, where are you from? And then it becomes more and more distance the more and more questions they have, because of my life bringing is so different to their life bringing. So I guess it's, business wise, I think I feel very welcomed here. I mean, they like us, they like our stuff, and then I feel really good about that, But then when you really want to do business, when they really, oh, you have this great product, now let's do business. And then it's like, we're excited, and yes, let's do it. And then it's like, oh, but that contract is not really good for us, but it's good for you. So how can we do it 50-50 that we're both good, because it's both of us that'll do it, and let's grow together. But they don't want to do that. So that's like the hard part to expanding what we're facing right now. Even is they want more than us, but it's us.
I mean, I think it happens across the board. I think it happens
does, yeah.
everywhere where you can be taken advantage of for your talents. People don't want to pay artists. People don't want to pay creators. And this is anywhere in the world. And you see contracts that are being made for artists who can thrive, but they negate the artist. It's like this funny sayings, especially for us in this industry of the lens, of the camera, is, oh, well, my friend has a camera. Yeah, hire your friend, please. Please hire your friend. But you're just too expensive. Okay, for you. I'm too expensive for you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And it's tough in one way, because I was in a studio where every single photo shoot was $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for one shoot. And the industry has changed so much that like find a photo shoot for $1,000 and it's like, oh, that's actually quite a decent pay. It's terrible pay actually when you consider the equipment and gear and skill and time and concept and how many conversations are we going to have to shape this event or this experience, whether it's fashion or video or, I mean, not everybody is suited for. And unless you're well known internationally, Koreans would be like, oh, who are you? It's like, okay. And then even though there's a name attached, they're like, oh, but will you still, no. So I stopped doing most commercial work here. You ask me what I'm doing with my work. It's like,
personal exhibitions.
I'm making posters for this little dessert company.
Yeah. We're doing music videos.
Yeah, but we do music
photo
videos.
shoots.
I mean, we have our photo shoots. I shoot my kids, I shoot nature, I work on my own concepts, and I'm work on my archive.
Yeah.
And I think my time with that come later. And in the meantime, this is all like that fertile time of cultivation and development. Because we have all the tools, we have everything, we have so much experience.
In lots of things.
Right? Now we're starting our own ways of marketing. Marketing in Korea is different because everybody follow a trend.
Yeah.
And it's hard to cut through, even if it's the truth.
Yeah.
It can be difficult to cut
People
through.
don't want the truth.
Yeah.
That any land on this effing planet is not just yours. We're all humans, and we should be able to roam wherever the F we want to effing go. Everywhere, every time. Doesn't matter you're in Korea, doesn't matter you're in America, oh, you're not American, go back to your country. No, no. Beep, 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 beep. We're all humans. We can go wherever the F we want to go on this planet. Why? All these rules and regulations is ridiculous in the first place. And if Koreans could just realize that that we should just all be human first and foremost, than any like nationality, what you look like, whatever, wherever you're from, what you like, whatever, just we're all humans. We can go wherever we want to go, be whoever we want to be. That's it.
That's not a Korean answer though.
It's all
but
yeah, but because we're here,
we've got a nice little
but because we're here and because we're in Korea, what do I want Koreans to know about the foreigners in here? Listen, Korean person, we're all human here. Just be nice. Just be nice.
I mean, for the most part, there's not too much. I mean, I don't feel like I'm not getting threatened in Korea,
No.
Like go back to your country. There's none of that.
Yeah.
And so I feel for the most part, surface welcome.
Yeah.
I think it would be beneficial for Koreans to understand. Koreans are really good, by the way, at like traveling to other countries, understanding other cultures. I had something very poignant I wanted to say, and now I've kind of lost it. Because I kind of don't care. I don't care how other people feel about me.
We also really don't care about that too.
I don't care.
But for the other foreigners, like just be kind to them, Be just kind to the other foreigners. For us, we don't care. Just be you.
Because if you treat me in a certain way, I'm not going to just sit there.
Yeah.
When I first came to Korea, I tried to be very culturally respectable.
Which you should be. I mean,
always.
Every new country, you should always go.
But you can be taken advantage of in
Yeah.
this way, where somebody treat you somehow, and you think, oh, I shouldn't have done that because. No, I know the rules here now.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me I should not do something just because you don't like that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I will tell you back in your language that no, this is not okay. So there are a lot of Koreans out here that do not like me, and I am A-okay with that. Don't put one over on me because you think I'm just going to roll over. Sorry, but there's a million Koreans who are great, never try anything. So like there's a million that be like, hey, you're great, everything's fine. But there's those few that you run into sometimes that really challenge your zen. Like, can I still be a calm center? And if you catch me at the wrong moment, no, I might not be. And you might get a finger in your face. And I don't back down, sorry. But what Koreans don't have is they don't have what we have in the West where you can't just be an asshole and not get smacked.
Yeah, really,
You can't,
because they are, I don't know if it's, sorry to say, lack of common sense sometimes, or just even human decency for their own, even for their own kind, their own, so quote unquote Koreans, how they are with each other sometimes. It's like, guys, let's just be kind, be human, be respectful of what we're doing. Don't, just because you're having a bad day, I feel like they do take it out on whoever's around them, which I've witnessed a lot and experienced firsthand. And then later on you fight with them and then you win the fight, but then you hear their story and they've just had a bad day, and then you're like, dude, you've elevated me to this level when all we could have had is just a conversation. We could have just just speak to me and don't worry, I'll be there for you, if that's all you needed, like, really. But you try to come at me like that, I'm going to match you. And then, it's pretty an intense situation. So really for us, we just I try to stay as low as I like to avoid.
I'm getting better too.
Avoid situations.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
There was a time where I would just take everything. I would just take it and take it and take it.
No, I don't take nothing.
And
so I try to lay low as
could
most
not.
as possible. So
I couldn't. I hit like this threshold of self-awareness, I think, where it was like, oh, okay, this is absolute garbage. Like, why are you treating me like this?
yeah.
I think we're pretty forthright. If things are fine, everything's fine. If things aren't fine, I'm going to let you know things aren't fine. And if you have a problem with that, then, it's kid gloves. Everybody's so sensitive. And yet there are these malicious kind of backhanded things that happen. And if they would be more direct, maybe it'd be better. But I can't tell the culture to change, nor would I be so audacious.
But it's different as well, because there's such a huge difference in the younger generation now that have traveled, that are a little bit more open, which is nice too. It's more like they traveled and they know. So if they are a lot of more kyopos in the country too, and still that's also a huge group of us that we're like Korean, but we're not Korean, but we're like also traveled all a lot. That is like, that they also find us as foreigners as opposed to Koreans, So there's a lot of different experiences every day, I think,
There really are. I mean, the thing is, this question is quite sensitive, and my answers are not really sensitive, but Koreans don't like to hear anything bad about their nation. They can talk. It's kind of like you can treat your sister or your brother a little bit poorly, but if anybody else does, you cannot. And I was working as a culture critic for a radio station in Korea, for KBS, I think, and it didn't last very long. And it didn't last very long because I couldn't be honest. You will send me to a place to have an experience, to give a real perspective. And if I'm a culture critic, then I should be allowed to talk truthfully. But I had to marshmallow coat, cover, puff everything, and I couldn't be honest. If I can't be honest at my job, what am I doing here? So I left. Because and it wasn't bad things. It was just insight and ways of thinking. So if we can approach something not the most positive, so let's call it negative. We can approach something negative with an insight for another way to approach it.
Yeah.
That's what we should
Yeah.
constantly be doing this with ourselves. I'm not doing this well enough. I can do this better. How can I do this better? What can I do? So when I approached it from this perspective, the producers did not want to hear my insight. No, you need to clear this with us before you talk about these things. So I had to send them my script ahead of time, and they're like, no, can you make this more positive? Can you make this? I'm like, I'm a critic. Do you understand the nature of being a critic? No.
I guess it's most generally like the open-mindedness. If Koreans were just a little bit more open-minded in terms of...
Sorry.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
You know, open-minded.
Yes. But you know what I mean. If they were just a little bit more open-minded to the idea that there are other humans on this planet other than themselves.
No, but they are, and they're getting better. And I think the youth are changing this scope.
Yeah.
But there's so much happening. It is such a volatile country. We have feminism in a strong way, but in like this very strong way. And yet we have like LGBTQ community is opening up more, and there's more foreigners coming, and there's a declining birth rate, and we've had ousted presidents I don't know how many times, and like Korea did amazing with COVID. There's so many amazing things about Korea.
There's so many great things.
We wouldn't be here if there weren't.
Yeah, obviously.
Really. But we also see our kids being shaped to try to be like everyone else. So that's this kind of like this thing, which is the open-mindedness is more about acceptance, and the open-mindedness is more about allowance.
Yeah.
And those are two words that Koreans need more of, which is acceptance of themselves and to allow other opportunities and options to exist.
To even allow themselves to just be themselves without being worried about what other people are thinking, you know, because I think a lot of them are so worried what other people are thinking about them that they cannot truly be themselves in fear of being judged by I don't know who or what the fear is about this, but they are in so much fear of just being themselves. They are so much more concerned what their friend is going to think about, what they're eating, what they're wearing, what they're doing, who they're freaking sleeping with, things like that. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? They are so, that takes the majority of their thoughts throughout the day, that they don't know who they are. So then we meet with these people, and then they see us and they're like, oh, these people are too weird for me.
But I feel free here in that case.
We do.
When we've been able to push the boundaries.
We make ourselves almost untouched, though, regardless of whatever that is, you know, whatever energy that is, if we either accept or don't accept it. So
we found a kind of gray zone to exist in. And one thing to know, I mean, within Korea, it's like the Confucian society of, unless you have been formally introduced, you don't really exist to each other. So you can't even take it personally. And at first I really took things so personally because I came here and it was like people would bump you and you'd, oh, excuse me, sorry, pardon me. Man, after a week of that, I was like, what the, I was so exhausted, so tired, like, whoa. And these days, Koreans don't touch you so much, but man, my first couple of months, I was so exhausted trying to avoid conflict on the street.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And it's quite funny. Like now people don't do that. You could go to Taiwan, or you can go to Japan, or you can go to Bangkok, and people won't even touch you. But in Korea, everybody is like.
Yeah.
But when you don't exist to them, then it's hard to really be personal. You can't take it personally that they're.
But then you could also be like, you can. I like to like make them aware and be like, hey, you bumped me. Say sorry. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Next time, open your eyes.
It's this kind of awareness, though.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't have the awareness, and I think these days with this kind of the mobile phone culture.
Yeah.
And I have photos. I've documented being here, and I shoot almost every day since I first came. And seeing people on the metro reading books years and years ago, or just sitting there, or listening to music, and they have, and now it's like 90% are on their phone.
98%. There's maybe the one or two people that are not on their phone and like holding on, but the rest of them.
Still a couple of books every once in a while, but yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. And so it's this dynamically changing world where the entertainment industry is leading the way in a big, powerful way. K-pop and the Korean movement, the Hallyu wave, and film, movies are really making it, and drama series.
Yeah, I mean the artists in Korea is amazing. Like
Creatives are
the
fantastic.
Creatives, yeah, it's great.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, so we just kind of like, when everybody's going that way, you will probably see us going
the other way on purpose.
And we have just gotten so used to doing that. Like that's just, it take us longer to achieve something.
And that's not easy,
or do something,
It's not easy to go the opposite way. It's been, we've had many like, hard times and learning and getting to even grow through all of that. It's been crazy.
I mean, we've had each other through it. I think if I were trying to do this alone, it would not be possible. I probably would have left Korea a long time ago.
Probably.
I'd have moved to South America.
Probably. I mean, other than the news we've been hearing of like the random foreigners like that have come and been crazy on TikTok or YouTube or whatever.
Disrespectful and
being
so on.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
You've heard those cases, with this one guy, he was in the GS and he would make a mess and, just all for the views. So I feel like foreigners that come into any country, it doesn't have to just be Korea, they come into any country trying to mock or make fun of or, be too cool for the country. They should get it, they should really not be part of society because it's rude. You can't just come into any country and act bad, you shouldn't do that as a person in general. So, but otherwise the other foreigners that have come, they're mostly just very open and trying to fit in. Also, like we said, also with us coming in, trying to fit in firstly, trying to become part of a community. So it's.
I mean, I think a lot of, excuse me. I think a lot of the benefit now that didn't exist, say in 2006, 7, or even 10 years ago, is that we've got this mukbang culture. We've got a lot more access on Netflix or on streaming sites to Korean things. And there's such an awareness, and I think Koreans have just done a great job of marketing themselves in Hollywood, marketing themselves in music and entertainment. I mean, Korea's done a great job.
Yeah, and most of the people that do come do respect it and create great contents about Korea, and they're very respectful. It's not like everybody, you have one or two really bad people that come into the country with malicious ideas or trying to be crazy, but the rest of the foreigners have been great coming to the country and really showing Korea, especially through food, the amazing food that we have here.
I mean, I think that's so fascinating, seeing TikTok and people go to the convenience store to
I know they get the iced
culture.
coffee and and then it's all that ASMR, and then they're eating their cup ramyeon and they put the cheese stick and the hot dog and they create all these I love that. I love watching mukbang. It's so fun. It gives me great ideas though, more ideas and I want to try that or I want to go eat that. So there've been a lot of places that foreigners have either gone to a restaurant or gone to an experience and put it up, and we're like, wow, they're doing this in Korea, let's go try it out. And so it's been cool that way too.
It's such a good way to discover new things.
Right.
I mean, I like seeing these things when foreigners come. I don't know that a lot of people really understand Korea the way you can understand Korea after 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
You know, and that's okay. I mean, you wouldn't be expected to. But you know, there are tales even of like people who they don't have an etiquette. And not even a manner.
Yeah.
And it works both sides. There are different expectations of what those manners might be. Talking on the subway, I mean, being loud on the subway, Koreans get a little offended about that. But I don't know. I mean, if you see other people being quiet, you should probably try to be quiet. Maybe, you know? And if somebody says something to you, like, don't
Again,
get
that's
offended.
just all common sense. So I mean, like you know, the
There's a
common
lot
sense
of
just
that.
to
There's a lot of that.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, how are these? I just happen to see a lot more people from international, especially in our neighborhoods, and that's wild.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
I
it.
used to
I
be
like
the
it
only
that
guy who was not
yeah.
Korean,
I mean,
so
because
now it's so different.
it's so funny because in Africa I stuck out like a sore thumb. I wasn't white, I wasn't black, you know, I wasn't Indian, which was the majority. I was Asian, and it was like one of the first Asians in Botswana. You know, they were like for children especially, it was just me and my brothers, but the rest, there weren't any Asian children in Botswana when I was growing up. So I was like, wow, this is so weird. And then I come here and I'm like, wow, my people, but it's not my people. I felt like I was like, it was just a huge thing that way. So it's wild to think that. So I don't know where I was going to go with that idea.
I mean, we've been the newcomer here.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, just being.
And they're like, but you're not from here.
Yeah, just you're not from here, but you know you are from here.
Right. It's a pretty tough one, though. A lot of different things come to mind.
Yeah, I think for a cultural norm is like Jayce was saying, the Confucius system, and if you haven't been introduced formally, you just don't know that person, so then you don't care about that person. So not to take things personally in that regard, as if like, because you don't physically meet everybody, so it feels like majority of people don't care. But it's not that they don't care, it's just that they haven't been introduced or given the opportunity to care. So in that regard, to not take things too personally in that way, that is like a cultural norm, like people just gonna open the door and walk, but it's not like they haven't been taught the manners to open the door for somebody or to be kind in that way. But don't take it personally if the door slams in your face, you know. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna open the door for the next person, so then they can learn to continue to open the door for the other people, you know. So that's those are those things,
yeah.
right? Or like the traffic is crazy with the taxis and the way the taxi drivers drive and bus drivers, they just like crazy.
It's the same manner.
It is,
There's
yeah.
like not this consideration of others.
Yeah.
It's like the consideration stops at my knowledge.
Exactly. But once you give
yeah.
them the opportunity to care and to leave can you open the door for me, please? They're like, oh yes, I will open the door. And you make that known to them, you know, then they are
Right.
open to caring. So to not really take things personally is a big thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Jayce? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's those little things that kind of wear on you, I think, over time, where I think a hyper-feeling person has a hyper-awareness about how everybody's doing in that space. And when you're super aware that you're going to close the elevator door, but I just heard somebody walk through and they're going to be there when it closes, I'm going to hold the door for you. And I'm holding the button, and then I'm sometimes shocked, like they'll see you, I'm like, I'm holding this for you.
You are my neighbor.
Yeah.
I know you,
Yeah.
exactly. But in the role reverse, it's like that door just closed. And I'm like, right. I mean, why should a 10 capacity elevator carry 2 people? 1 or 10, that's it. Like, you know, I mean, some of those things can wear on a person over time. It's hard to understand where consideration starts and stops. where is it okay? Because in other ways, like you go out to eat, and it's like that's another one where it's my turn to treat about everybody, but next time it's your turn, and next time it's I mean like we kind of we're just like whatever. We invited you, so we pay. That's cool. You invited us, okay? You can pay, but who knows? So I don't know.
There are a few things that
There are things that I forget actually now that are like that we just kind of do, and then I go back to the States and I realize that I'm like,
yeah. 안녕하세요. It's like, oh no.
What do I do with my body?
I know. I know, yeah.
And they like, dude.
In America, the first time he went back from Korea, he was saying that he was going shopping with his mom, and he stood too close to the other American. The other American's like, give me space, but there's still so much space. Meantime, in Korea, everyone's like stuck in line, like right next to each other. Like, dude,
funny.
give me some space.
She looked at me with such disgust.
I know. It's like,
How dare you stand
in
10
my
feet away from
personal
me?
space.
But in my countryside home of Wyoming, it's like the personal space.
The
bubble
person is
like,
a huge thing.
It's like
yeah.
this. Like this
It's
is
a
an
very-
intimate conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm used to talking to people
Yeah.
like in here, and they're like,
if you
whoa,
yeah.
you're too close. Okay. So those are some interesting
Those are
things.
some cultural norms.
I've met presidents. We've met, I don't know,
Yeah.
countless famous people. We have friends who are famous. But, you know,
Yeah.
like, for us, it's just people. We're not
People,
super fans.
something people don't really know just by look. Like we're genuinely happy.
Yeah,
like we're
that's true.
genuinely living our life the way we want to, using our time the way we want to, doing the things we want to, living this life with our children. Like that is the one thing. Like people can see. I mean, we are doing that. We are, but we are like genuinely happy doing that. Like, you know, sure, it's not easy, it's not every day, oh my god, I'm so happy, but like to the core, like day in and day out, like I am feeling so blessed to wake up every day. I'm so blessed to have this man help me do everything that I want to do, and wonderful children that are just, you know, challenging us in ways as humans, like, oh my gosh, we created you, but oh my gosh, I think we could end your life very quickly, but I wouldn't, but because this is just such my challenge and triggers and learning and evolving just as a human. Like, I think generally if people are just looking inside, and sure, they must think we're weird, like how is this working? But we are, like, I feel like we
Totally.
just live
Yeah,
life
totally.
the way we want to live life. Like we don't answer to nobody. We don't have, you know, questions from anybody really that are like question us like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or like, what are you doing? Like, what are you, you know? We have none of that. So it's really like so much support and so much
Trust.
genuine trust and love, and like I just feel so grateful. Like no matter what we do, I feel like we could always generate that for ourselves, because we've been through it all. We've been through so much learning and lessons and pain, and equally love and joy and happiness too, you know. So it's the balance of everything today. I just feel happy. Like this is what we do, and even if we don't know what we're doing, we're just doing it, you know, at the best that we can. We keep like evolving, and I love that we keep evolving, and we use new materials every day and use new ideas, and have our children input so much on our creations, really, and how we live life, honestly, is a big part of the kids, I think, right?
I mean, we create under extreme pressure and extreme conditions. no sleep condition.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a choice of when something is going, like, and it doesn't matter whether it's a music video or an exhibition or we need to make these chairs and they need to be done by tomorrow. We just do it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And we find the joy in doing it.
exactly, the
That's the joy.
process
That's
is
where
joyful.
it comes out. That we're happy to be doing, even though it's hard and not easy, and maybe other people might not think is fun, but still it is for us because it's very new as well, and everything we do is very new.
Always in the challenge.
Yeah, I think it's fun that way. It keeps things interesting.
I think one thing people wouldn't know is that we are living actually very intentionally.
Yeah.
We make intentional choices.
Yeah, everything is
to
very
live
intentional.
counter-stream, even though most people think we should be living to be the Samsung dream.
Yeah.
That's actually working for somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
We intentionally choose
Yeah.
to work for ourselves in a specific
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So we have so much abundant time together
Right.
and a living of being able to do things
Yeah. Exactly.
that we want to be doing.
Yeah.
Continuing with the people we want to be doing it with.
Yeah.
So that kind of intention, I think, is probably the greatest thing we can do that nobody would have any idea. Because we
Yeah.
just look like some hippies somewhere.
We do, and people, and also another thing, people probably think that when they're looking in that we don't work at all, but we work so hard. We work so hard, but we work and play at the same time, and we find the balance for that. So.
I don't know if we ever really aren't working. We're always
Yeah,
busy
we're
doing
always
something
like, even if
to
we
create,
are on a break, we're
but
always
we're having
working.
fun, so it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
work, and it doesn't look like work.
Yeah, yeah, but we work so hard actually.
We work really well.
Yeah.
Somehow it works.
Yeah.
Communication is the first thing. We're really open with them. We don't hide things
Very
from them.
straightforward.
We don't lie to them, not even white lies.
No.
We tell them the truth. Some things we hold magic for them and hold space for magic, and those things are necessary. They will figure
and
out
also
in
an
time.
age,
Age
depending on what they
appropriateness.
ask, there's always the age
Age
appropriateness
appropriateness.
that we think.
Certain things are withheld if it's necessity or if it's not
Yeah,
time, but we're
yeah.
also, if they have a big question, we don't turn it into something crazy.
No,
We
we're
say-
always
we
very
say straight.
straightforward. Yeah.
We don't control or manipulate or play by fear.
But they're so lovely. I mean, Annika is just so musically talented. She's got, so many gifts and has always been our little social butterfly. She's always been open to, she can make friends wherever she goes. I mean, Neptune takes a little bit of time, but I like that about him, though. He needs to watch from a distance, and okay, if I'm cool, he'll be all in, So, and he's so good. He's so sporty that way. So, with all these amazing talents that these kids have, our job mainly is to just guide them as best as possible in what they are okay with. Obviously, trying to keep them safe and keep them alive and healthy is our main priority. But in life, just especially because they're so young that we
give them space
we
to
give them
explore.
enough space to explore, but we're also very hard on them. Like, if there's one thing, they'll get a smack. Like, we totally discipline our children.
No, there are boundaries.
There are boundaries.
You cross the
Yes
boundary,
is yes, no is no.
there's
As
a
a child,
repercussion.
this is okay, that's not okay. If you slap your sister, you're gonna get a slap from mom and dad. If this happens, you're gonna get us. So, but we
love that hard as well.
just as hard. So I mean, we would like, there'd be moments that we would just rage, and because we are also figuring out our childhood traumas, right, and trying to break generational curses. I mean, our parents, when we grew up, we couldn't say one thing, we would get the shit kicked out of us. You know what I'm saying? We cannot disrespect our parents whatsoever. But this generation, can you do this? No.
The audacity.
The audacity and the courageousness that they have, I commend them, because we were courageous. We were also courageous in our right, but our parents were still that much more enraged in their own life and the way they grew up. Their generation is completely different. So the understanding of that, and then coming to also having our own children and trying to break the generational curses of just beating the absolute crap out of them, that they are so scared of us that they move. So we want to balance that out. We want them to like respect us enough to listen, but they're also not okay to be naughty, you know.
But not to break them to the
Not to
point where
break them,
they
because
have to
when we
be
were
in this area.
our parents broke. I was broken, you know. We were broken by our
You're
parents.
disciplined
you
into
know.
being what they need you to be, or
Yeah.
something strange. And we don't live in a time that is necessary. We are hands-on
No.
discipliners.
Yeah.
We're hands-on lovers. In
Yeah.
all the ways we try to support, in all the ways we try to cultivate and allow.
Yeah.
We make allowance. Make a mistake is A-okay.
Yeah.
Make the same mistake twice,
Yes.
fine, but learn.
And they're around us so much that they live through us. Like they know when we experience something, that we're involving them, you know,
Totally.
in situations. We're not hiding them or putting them in a corner or saying you can't know this until, you know. It depends obviously, but in general, in just life and raising them, it's mostly like trying to teach them core values in terms of just being a good human, regardless.
What does that mean?
And what is a good human,
And navigating that
what is
together.
okay and what is not okay, and then listening to your body as well. So
Right.
yeah.
We just going to school today. Today and yesterday, they're on summer vacation, but they're still doing like the after-school activities and our-school activities and things. We're working, and so we take our time freely when we choose. And the conversation today was really about how do you know when you've made a good decision. And Annika said today, I said, this is a little homework, think about it, and we'll talk about it. When I asked her today, she goes, well, I feel it. I know when I've made a good decision. Everything feels right. So, okay, I mean, like, what can I say to that?
That's perfect. Yeah. That is deep.
So we try,
Yeah.
but this is the communication we really
Yeah.
try to have with our kids, which is to say,
And they tell us everything,
feel it.
so we really appreciate that they trust us enough to tell us
Definitely.
everything, regardless,
Definitely.
you know. And we always make it open and known to them that even though mom and dad discipline you, even though mom and dad shout sometimes, and you know, it doesn't take away from who you are and who we are as your parents. So if there's something that you need help or you need us to know, you need to tell us, because we will always be there for you, you know. So they always tell us everything, and I love that. I love that they do. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we make a mistake, we apologize.
And we also tell
them.
her, I always say,
There are times.
you know, mommy, I got a little upset, and I know I shouldn't have. It was before, when I was younger, this happened, and I tell her a story, and then she can relate to me and understand that as well. So, like Jayce was saying, we communicate everything. Like, we love hard and we discipline hard, but even throughout that, we will tell them straightforwardly, like, this is this and that's that. So. Yeah, not easy. It's really not easy to be parents. So.
And I don't know. I mean, we do the best we can. They make mistakes. We make mistakes.
Yeah, and
we're
we
human.
keep telling them as well, like, guys, this is our first time to being parents. Like, you know, this is your first time in this life. Like, we're doing this together. We're a family. Like, we're learning from each other. So let's really, like, we don't have to get so elevated or so crazy sometimes as we do. Yeah.
But I got what you said.
Yeah.
And Jayce, you asked Annika really deep questions, and I'm wondering, have your kids ever asked you something about identity or culture that really made you stop and think?
Well, Annika was 2 years old, and it was like her first time in the Korean school system and things. And I remember her coming home and saying, "Oh, I'm different." Like, first confrontation. And I thought, man, already? Like, I thought maybe she would be elementary school or something, but she was
Yeah, I was
2
very
years
young.
old,
Yeah.
and she said, "I'm different." And the only thing I could do is just turn the lens around and say, "Okay, well,
embrace
how do
the
you feel about it?
difference, yeah.
Are you okay with being different?" She's like, yeah, I'm me. And at that point, I didn't have to worry
Yeah,
anymore.
we didn't question or say anything after that.
Because she embraced being herself. And as soon as you can embrace being yourself, whatever anybody else thinks about you doesn't matter. Because the most important person is your perception of self, not other people's perception.
But also,
doesn't
I'm sorry,
define who
we
you
all are different.
Exactly.
Like, we all are different. Like, you know.
I mean, she was at that time, I think, probably the only mixed child. But I really didn't
Yeah,
expect
she
her to
was in
have
that
that.
origin because it
Right.
was a different, the first origin, not
Right.
the one that we went with Neptune. That was just completely only Korean people actually. Yeah.
Right.
What
She
about
was-
Neptune?
Neptune navigated really, really
yeah.
well until his
Especially
first
in
year of
our
school.
area where we're at, there's a lot of,
There's a lot more
mixed and
international,
foreigners and
yeah.
international kids, so I don't think he ever
Uzbek,
felt,
Russian,
Yeah.
Kazakh, Indian, Norwegian.
and I don't think he ever felt
a couple
like,
of American.
yeah,
Yeah, a
he
couple of
was-
mixed American families. Which is actually, we're in a kind of an unusually international area.
Yeah.
It's not Yongsan area. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, senses of identity. Neptune has never questioned who he is. He's just like, he's himself.
Yeah.
He walks
is.
up to the biggest kid on the playground.
Yeah.
He says, "Let's race."
Yeah.
I respect that. When he was 2 years old, in
He's-
fact, he got mad at me and he put up both hands and he's like, he didn't like my answer.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he ran at
just
me like he was going to punch
charged,
me
and
with
I
two
was
hands.
like, yep, that's my son.
And I'm like, all right, I respect that, but the
Yeah.
answer is still no.
Yeah. It's like,
So our children, they are who they are.
yeah.
And I think that they're both trying to explore certain things, and they always ask us to do stuff, and we're always so happy to like oblige, because the best
Yeah,
thing
if
we
they want
can
to
do
learn
is
something or try something new, we're always like, yep, let's figure it out. Let's find out how we can do it. But the thing is, if they are really, they need to let us know how passionate and how true, because we
Right.
can't cater to every
Every
idea,
single thing, no.
everything that they find joy in, every single thing, Really find, like, just ask yourself questions and see which one you enjoy the most out of these, just for now. We're humans, we can change, if you want to change, sure, but at least give it your all what you chose now. Don't choose this and then next minute you want this or you want this or you want this, because mommy and daddy are not doing that for you, So
Right.
they are like things like these type of guidances that we try to give them. So come here. I think these people are citizens of the world. Like the way we've been like speaking them and like making a known fact that they are citizens of the whole world. But
Are
it's
you
up
more
to
Korean
them.
or more a citizen of the world?
What citizens?
Are you just a human on the planet, or are you just
Human on planet.
You Korean?
No,
She said human on the
Oh, human on the planet. I thought you said Korean. I was like, okay, girl, we can be Korean. Us. You just
what
be
does
you.
that mean to be human?
To be me. Just
And?
live a life here.
Doing what?
Doing things I will remember
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
Yeah. And?
That's all.
You're a little shy.
Being shy?
No.
My little model being shy.
Okay, let's talk about Korea once again. What stands out to you as something unique or distinct about living in Korea?
There's a very fast pace. I love this Bali culture. There are things that are challenging about it, but what I love about the fact is that I can do something at all hours. The availability,
Yeah.
the ease, the comfort, some of these things that are inherently Korean, safety. But the Bali culture is great because something can happen creatively at all times.
Yeah.
You can always do something or experience something. Are you coming too? You want to come say what's up?
Yeah.
What do you like about being in
Guys are
Korea,
getting
Neptune?
a little,
Playing
goodness.
soccer. Football.
Do you like football?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So having the interview where they're in the same room, they're like, "Hey, we haven't touched in a while.
I
Like,
know.
hold us.
They
hold
need
us,
to.
hold us.
Yeah.
Hold me like a baby." So we understand the value of being so close, and in Korea, a lot of times it's not always a physical relationship of hugging among family members, or like being close. But
Yeah.
you know, there's.
Yeah. I mean, when my mom was growing up, she would say, like, it was a different culture. She didn't grow up with hugs and kisses and stuff. So and she was an only child. So when she grew up, she says, I'm going to have more than one child and I'm going to give them lots of hugs and kisses. So we grew up so much with my mom and dad, so many hugs and kisses. And it's just natural to do that to the kids as well, you know. I think it's really important to have that. Yeah.
I grew up with so many hugs and kisses from my parents.
Yeah, me too. And now with mom, and they get all the kisses from grandmas.
Right. So we tend to be quite close.
Yeah. But living in Korea, I mean, there's just so many unique places. The people here have come now that have brought unique things, to do and to experience in Korea in itself has been wonderful. All the different cultures in itself that we get to experience, like the huge Russian or Uzbek, and the food is delicious. It's so close by. The Moroccan district, and you get to experience Indian, all these different places that you get to experience in Korea itself. Ethiopian is delicious in Korea,
International cuisine, different cultural aspects. They do cultural.
Yeah, those are the distinct, like, unique things that we love to do in Korea. Is enjoy the cultures that have come and made a name for themselves.
The biggest challenge among some of the newer things happening, though, is that, and especially I know because of my food situation where I couldn't eat so many things,
this is a huge
is that to really try to find Korean food that was made the traditional way is almost impossible. There are very few places that still have it. And so I'll go to a place and I'll say, hey, do you make things with sugar? And they're like, yeah, if we don't make it with sugar, it's not delicious. And I thought,
that's a huge thing.
That's something that's really changed.
Almost all Korean food now has sugar. Yeah.
If it's a chain, it's guaranteed to have sugar. Countryside, still some of the places still make it in the old way, but yeah, that's unique.
Let's talk about your personality, not only about Korea, right? Do you have a dream or a vision you're working toward right now?
Just one. There's about I don't know, I think 100 things that are on the docket. There's right now. I think we're just really enjoying being able to spend the time with our children and still be creative, work on our individual projects.
Yeah.
I mean, we're humbly plugging
We're very
away.
present right now at this moment.
Super present.
In terms of the project at hand, which is the shop, and
Right.
music videos here and there, and photo shoots here and there. But
yeah, we're just I don't know. I mean, it's lovely to not be in a situation where we feel we have to push so hard and go into burnout mode. We're just steady.
I think we'll be dreaming
moving.
and trying to fulfill the dreams until we die. So
Exactly.
There's just so many ideas. It's like, okay, right now we have this. Let's see what we can do next and next and next. But like I said, I definitely envision maybe a move for just a little bit. Be in a different place or a different country, a different culture.
What part of your journey here are you most proud of?
How kids.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
It's
That was simple.
The best collaboration ever. Because we did have them both here in Korea, So.
I mean, I think even just the happiness aspect. I think us being able to There was
come to a place
Yeah.
that we are happy doing what we're doing right now. Because we've been through lots of intensities throughout our relationships. I mean, we've been together for 18 years now, so it's a whole teenager, almost.
That's a whole adult.
It's a whole like fresh adult right there. So during those growing pains and getting to learn about each other and knowing and stuff. So
adapting and growing together. So yeah, having children, finding a place where we feel, I don't know, so there's a certain amount of completeness. Like
we've had
we
great
don't feel we have to
opportunities in Korea
prove
as
anything.
well. Yeah. Well, we've had great opportunities in
We've
Korea.
been really
People have
blessed and
been,
really
yeah.
lucky and had, I mean, some of the better, there are personal achievements, but I don't know if anything is as much of an achievement as being able to persist through all of the difficulties.
Yeah.
All
and
of them.
Continue on. So.
Right, and carry on and keep going and still have the motivation and still have the partner and the ability to continue going and continue growing and continue learning and expanding what we do and recognizing that we are infinitely capable and will continue. We will persist. So despite all the challenges, we keep finding more and more good people and more people who we grow in a positive way. And it doesn't mean where they're just people. Where they're from is not important, They're Korean or not Korean or international or not. Good people, we find good people.
And the last question is about if you could send a message to yourself on your very first day in Korea, what would you say?
Oh my goodness. Don't fight with people. Don't beat people up. Because I really did. I had so many fights when I was fresh from South Africa, so that was like, I was very different back then. Like when I was 25. I was 24. 24. I was 24. Yeah, when I first lived in Korea. If I told, and what I would tell myself to chill the F out, chill the F out. Don't take things personally. Just be chill. Because I think there I was, already I had to fight so much to show people who I am in Africa that I felt like when I came to Korea I had to again fight my way for people to know who I am, that I am Korean, but don't treat me as if I'm every other Korean, So I was battling a lot of that. I think maybe I could have done it a little less aggressively now that I think about it, but now I'm okay. I'm not as intense as I was when I first came here. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I was
That's
super
true.
intense when we first came.
Get some hard edges.
Yeah.
But
It's
you
okay.
don't you don't you don't seem you don't seem like violent person.
No, I'm really not. I really am not a violent person. If anything, I'm very calm in I don't want to be that type of way, but I can be very much that type of way too. So it's
Just depends on your boundary violation.
yeah, it depends it really depends on how I'm. It's not even how I'm feeling. It's what are you doing, and is that okay in regards to everybody else? So, yeah. What would you tell yourself?
Not a thing.
Not a thing?
No, just I came here blind. I
Yeah.
knew one word and not
That's
one
so
person.
true.
I didn't know anybody in Korea.
And you
when I
did
came
so
here.
good. Look at you.
So I wouldn't tell myself
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Just keep doing you.
Yeah, but you're so different to me in terms of he's just such a sweetheart compared to me, really.
There's a lot of people out there who would probably disagree with you.
But you know what I mean, though, really.
No.
He's
I mean,
definitely
you
more
are the
approachable
sweetheart.
than I am.
Yes, yes.
He is.
Yes.
He
to.
is very. He has that energy where people are okay.
I'm
Which I
approachable.
am so okay because I'm very not approachable.
I'm approachable. Maybe I'm approachable.
You are.
I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with that. You're guarded.
I'm very.
But Annika
I
is
am
like me, and
very-
Neptune is like
I
you.
am very guarded, I guess. So.
That's
But also,
okay.
I think it is because of the way we grew
Sure.
up. So.
And that's totally okay.
So.
As a couple, you are perfectly balanced, and this is true. I think, yeah, he can confirm it too. And let me say that this conversation was one of the best in my life because I learned a lot from you guys, and I'm happy that this day came finally when
I know.
yeah, when I could catch this opportunity to talk to you
Thank you.
in such a deep way. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank
much
you
for your
for
time.
having us.
I hope we've given you
I know
not too much.
We're
you
all
know?
over the place, but yeah, we really appreciate this even opportunity to
You gave me more than
hear
I
our
expected.
Story. We want to hear your guys' story.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Because we can all relate in some level that makes us more connected, you know, because we know what, you know, we feel what we've been through each other's stories, and we can
Yeah.
still learn
That
from
is
that.
true.
So I think it's beautiful what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Everybody has a story, but like
Yes.
it's so unique that we all exist in
Yeah,
this
it
place at this
is.
time,
Yeah.
and you all happen to be Korean
I know,
in some
it's
capacity.
just
It's
so
amazing.
wild. Yeah, it's so wild.
That's why we call this project "We Here." Like
That's
we
cool.
as a community.
Yeah.
It's something united, and
It
here
is.
is the place
Yeah.
which gather us together.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and all four of us from different countries.
I know.
That's
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 amazing.
Which makes it so unique and special. And I
But
think
yet
it's
we
fun.
probably navigate in a similar way.
Yeah.
We understand the similar way about
Yeah,
the experience.
Definitely.
But even though we can understand each other,
Yeah,
through
of
the experience,
Totally.
yeah, through the struggles and
Of course.
and the same country we're living in.
Yeah, really.
Definitely. Physically, we're
Really.
here right now, so yeah, try to make the best of it.
No, I'm grateful to Korea.
Yeah,
I'm really
I
grateful
really-
to
I'm
Korea.
grateful too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The safety is just the biggest thing for me. That's like the biggest thing, that the kids are growing up like so differently to how I grew up. So
But I mean, there's so much good here. Really,
yes, of course.
it's easy to focus on the difficult. It's easy to focus on the negative. It's easy to focus on and those things are real, and I think it's valid to talk about them. But the biggest thing I have was when I realized that what my life is not happening to me, that I'm actually
Yeah, the
doing
majority has been so
that-
positive being here.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's been more positive than negative, you know, and
Really,
we try to
really.
keep it mostly that way. So